isitjover.com says it is 100% Joever, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We're going to get right into it, okay? Folks, no personal news time with the exception of one thing. So you might be wondering, oh, fuck, I just stabbed myself. You might be wondering, Hasan, you're a little bit late. I mean, this is a pretty significant moment in American political history. Like, how are you not immediately on it? Like, why were you not covering it ahead of time? You said if he drops out, he's probably going to drop out on Sunday. If he drops out, he's probably going to drop out on Sunday for fucking a long ass time, right? And you were saying all of that, and that's because I knew it was going to happen, but I had other obligations to Twitch. We were actually setting up a really sick trailer for a debate, like for a show, like a secret show that we're doing, which you guys will, I hope, enjoy. That's not out yet, obviously. In the trailer, I was like, listen, guys, we pushed it back because last week Trump got shot. We were supposed to shoot the trailer last week. And then Trump got shot. So I was like, I'm not doing this. Like, obviously, I can't do the trailer tomorrow. And then and then they were like, okay, we'll push it to next week. And I was like, okay, well, next week, leading up to this like shoot, I was like, I know that Joe Biden is going to drop out on Sunday, guys. And they're like, no, you don't know that. Come on. I was like, no, I know he is going to drop out on Sunday. Like, I'm telling you right now, I can't be there. Like, they were like, oh, we set up a green screen for you. I'm like, you don't understand. I'm going to be fucking live for like 8 hours minimum, possibly 12 after this. So they were like, they were literally like, sure, whatever. We'll figure it out. I was just like, nope, big dog. As soon as I found out, March went, oh no, I was putting on my fucking stupid ass emo makeup on. Okay, having a grand old time, not having a care in the goddamn world. Okay, and March, who's also helping produce the show, points to me and goes, oh no. And I got the first text message from Austin, as a matter of fact. Austin Show was the first person to actually text me, it's Joever. And from that moment on, it was like, all right, I got the fucking emo shit on me. I'm not going to put this on ever again. I don't want to put it on ever again. Let's just take this shot. So we did we filled out that, but there was like 8 other things going on. Okay. And I basically was like, I'm done. I'm going. I grabbed Kaya, put her in the car, drove back. I had to piss myself so bad. I had to pee so bad on the drive back. I had to pee so fucking bad. I pull up to my driveway. The gate is not opening fast enough. I'm like, fuck this. I get out of the car. I run into the house. I try to unlock my door. I can't unlock my door. I pissed in my front yard. That's how bad my situation was. Of course, I called it earlier today. I'm shooting a show today for Twitch, so I most likely won't be live. Biden, you better not drop out yet. Yeah, but, you know, of course. That was like in the midst of, I'm shooting a trailer today for Twitch. I most likely, someone make sure he's okay. No, I did it. I'm here. Are you playing a blue-haired liberal in the show? I'm playing a blue-haired liberal and a fucking red-blooded patriot. But yeah, I mean, this is the expectation. I'm such a messy bitch that, like, of course, campaign is canceled. I need some time to relax and bounce on dick. I'll announce Kamala when I feel like it. Whoo! Remember when I fucking told you guys? I said this is the most boring election cycle, but overnight it has the capacity to become the most interesting election cycle. We're there! We're officially there! This is now officially become a historic run. It went from a fucking rerun between a cadaver and a convict. Both people that Americans were tired of on both sides, regardless of policy. People were just like on vibes alone. They were like, bro, I don't fucking care about this. I don't want to fucking dial into this. I don't give a shit about this at all. And then overnight, guys, 7 days ago, Donald Trump, 45th president of the United States of America, Donald John Trump, got shot in the ear at a Butler, Pennsylvania rally. That was 7 days ago. It feels like 8 lifetimes ago. That shit happened only 7 days ago. Think about that. The writers woke the fuck up. They thought, you know what? We gave the NBA a goddamn dud. No 7-game final. Basically fucking blew out the entirety of the Mavericks. So they were like, turns out it's because they were writing the script for this shit, dude. They literally gave nothing to the NBA final script. So they gave it all to the fucking election cycle. As my main man, Vladimir Ilyich Lenin likes to say, there are decades where nothing happens, and then there are weeks where decades happen. We are in the week where decades are happening. We are now officially in that week, okay? We were in that week last week. We're in that week this week. It hasn't stopped being the week. You have to see this. There are days where decades happen. Those are the days Hasan doesn't stream. There are decades where days happen. Those are the days Hasan does stream. I mean, it's just like, dude, being out there in fucking downtown Los Angeles as a goddamn shoot with full emo gear on my fucking face, like, it feels like you're getting caught with your dick out. You know what I mean? It's like, how is that even possible? Anyway, that's besides the point. We're done. We're done with my shitty drama, not even drama really, but like my own silliness. We are getting into the news. All right, I'm just gonna see what the fuck is going on. I don't want to watch MSNBC because I don't want to watch people who are suicidal. And I don't want to watch Fox News because I don't want to watch people masturbating, because I feel like both are, you know, a violation of terms of service. So I'm just gonna go right down the middle. Clinton News Network. We're going Clinton News Network. We're going right down the middle, CNN. Let's see what's happening.
President Biden and the campaign running in full force until the moment that he wasn't. You know, there's no real way for you to run for president 50%. There's no way for you to sort of half be a candidate.
No,
and I think that is sort of what
you
we
can't
have
do
seen,
this. We can't do this. I cannot look at Rachel Maddow right now. I don't want to see. Listen, dude, listen. I don't want to see someone on the brink. She's on the brink, big dog. Look at her. Look at her. She's on the brink. Step away from the ledge, Rachel. Don't fucking do it, Rachel. It's okay. Rachel is going to be all right. It's going to be all right. Don't do it. She's sitting. She's like bathtub toaster. She gets the call. She's like, fuck it, I have to go in for a little bit. We're postponing it for like 5 minutes. Let's get to Kamala Harris, or not Kamala Harris, CNN.
Right now about how exactly this race is going to unfold in the coming days and weeks. We are obviously in a really unprecedented situation, but it was important for a lot of people in the Democratic Party to hear the words coming straight out of the president's mouth that in his eyes, the person that needs to take the torch from the president is his deputy, is the person that he chose, is the person who he said could take on the role of the presidency on day one. I was just talking to campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond, and he said there's no question about it. This is an example of President Biden doing the right thing, and he said he was really glad to hear the president coming out to publicly endorse Kamala Harris, and that the campaign is going to be behind her, but sort of the machinations of exactly how the campaign is going to sort of transition over to making that sort of the campaign's operation in the coming days. Obviously, all of those things need to get figured out. But look, I think if there was a scenario where the
bro, immediately they're switching up the narrative so fast. I told you. Bakari Sellers, Kamala is running against the oldest nominee for president of the United States in American history. I mean, the man is nearly 80 years old. And so the question is, can he serve another 4 years? I'm not sure he can. Now, every single one of these indecent motherfuckers straight up were like, Joe's not old. How dare you say that? Every single one. What did I tell you? I told you there's no fucking Biden or bust in this goddamn party. They're all just fucking ruthless machine politicians with bad fucking instincts. It didn't even take 30 seconds for these motherfuckers to switch up. They were trying to fucking gaslight us. Oh, Joe Biden is not going to drop out. You're out of your mind. He's actually sharp as a tack, okay? He's actually sharp as a tack. The moment that they fucking switch it up, what did I tell you? You think Harry Hasan is going to be out there? He's going to be out there being like, yeah, actually, I'm a Biden dead ender. Sorry, Biden or bust for me. I wanted a candidate that's like 800 years old, you know? Kamala's too young, too vibrant. You think that's what they were going to say? There were people in this fucking community that were trying to tell me, Hasan, Biden is actually really popular in certain demographics, and that the media or certain aspects of the Democratic Party are really riding with Biden. Like, no, they're not. They're just careerist pieces of shit who did not make the right calculation. Okay? Vindication after vindication. Put some respect on it. Obviously, put some respect on Uncle Cenk, too, who's been fucking dialed in on this issue for months at this point. People made fun of him. Not me, of course. I'm riding with Cenk as always. But he was right 100%. He was right from the jump. 2024 is the year of HasanAbi vindication so far. Anyway, but I can't be the only one who's a Biden dead ender. I lied this entire time. As a obvious political commentator, as a unbiased political journalist, political commentator, I always try to tell you not what I think, but what the public wants to hear. And for that reason, I must reluctantly tell you that I will not be voting for Kamala Harris because I was riding with Biden. I'm the only one in America, in the United States of America, that was actually like, I need the 800-year-old carcass. Okay? I need him. I need him in my veins. I need him. Just kidding. Of course not, because I'm not a fucking idiot. All right. Holy shit. All right, let's continue. Let's see what Bakari Sellers, who was selling us the idea that Joe Biden is fine not that long ago, what is he saying now?
And so I'm going to be on the phone tonight calling delegates, getting them, whipping them up, trying to get them on board for Kamala Harris. I don't think that's going to be a difficult task. And anything else, the vice president.
Where's Jamie Harrison? Where's Jamie Harrison? Bring him to me now. $100 million lost in front of Lindsey fucking Graham. Then the Democratic Party puts you on the DNC chair. Where is he? Where are you? What happened? I don't want Bakari. I want Jamie. I want to see his piece of shit. I want to see that piece of shit on television on the front lines going, yeah, everything I lied about for the past fucking like 6 months is actually, I was just lying. What are we doing? We put a motherfucker who does not know anything about campaigning, who got absolutely bodied by Lindsey Graham, an in-the-closet gay man in the fucking deep South, who is one of the least popular politicians in Congress. Jamie Harrison dumped $100 million into that race, got fucking cumstered, and then, what did the Democratic Party do? The Democratic Party went, you know what, Jamie? You're the GOAT. You're the GOAT. You lost gracefully, so you should lead the DNC. Oh my God. And what did Jamie Harrison do? For those of you who are, just tuning in, and those of you who are wondering what the fuck's going on, Joe Biden has dropped out. But these characters that I'm pointing to right now are the characters within the Democratic Party who just kept telling us a lie. Something that we can see with our own two fucking eyes. I've been saying this since 2019. Since 2019, I said, Joe Biden has lost his fucking step. He is not the Joe Biden that would have won in 2016. He is not the right person for this fucking party. In 2019, I said that obviously I was biased. I'm a Bernie bro. I was a Bernie or buster. I was busting for Bernie pretty fucking hard. That was one of the reasons. But there was a very valid reason not to put Joe, because he was going to drop the incumbent advantage come 2024, because he was too fucking old in 2019. People knew he was old in 2019, but the media gaslit us. The media kept telling us, no, this 85-year-old man, this 800-year-old demon is actually running on the best adrenochrome you've ever seen. He's perfectly fine. Nothing is wrong. And then 50 million people watched Joe Biden look like all of our collective grandparents, okay? 50 million Americans watched the president of the United States of America basically play the role of grandpa that's unfortunately lost not only his step, but his mental fucking faculties. And then after that debate where 50 million people watched, 50 million Americans watched Joe Biden fail to demonstrate basic competency for weeks, if not an entire month. I don't even know. My concept of time is so out of whack at this point because, like I said, 7 days ago, Donald Trump was shot, and it feels like a lifetime ago. But I think it was a month ago. For an entire month, we played this song and dance on television with donors where all of the family members of Joe Biden were basically saying, come on, Grandpa, you can't drive no more. We have to take the car keys away from you, Grandpa. We have to. And he stood by and said, fuck no, I'm driving this goddamn car. If you can't drive a vehicle, you can't drive a nuclear submarine as the commander in chief. One. Number two, the only people in Joe Biden's orbit that obviously wanted him to stay in the race was like Hunter fucking Biden and his immediate family members and like 8 people in the Progressive Caucus. That's it. And Joe Scarborough. Never forget. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, Jamie Harrison, the DNC chair, Bakari Sellers, and a couple select few members were the people that were like, no, Joe's good. I'm riding with him. I'm riding with Biden. Behaving like Biden dead enders as though he was the best possible choice here. Oh my God. And it was wild. I felt like I was going crazy. Couple years down the line, we are going to look back at this moment and go, remember when the president's like inner circle, Jill Biden, his wife, and his children, one of which is literally a convicted felon and like a person who very famously has more pictures doing crack than sober, okay? Those were the guys who were like, you have to stay in this race, honey. You have to stay in this race. When the entire country was like, what are you doing? 67% of Democratic Party voters were like, we have to swap Joe out. 67%. 70+% of the entire country. 70% of independents. The entire nation was like, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? So yeah, I will be taking a fucking victory lap on this day, and I will not be nice about it. Oh my Lord. You should have known. You should have known when Hillary Clinton came out, okay, like 3-4 days ago and said, no, Biden should stay in the race. Listen, I get it. You feel like you deserve to be the president. You felt like it was your time in 2016 and you got ritualistically humiliated and refused to learn any lessons from that humiliation. And then you stuck to it. And now it sucks because there's another woman. There's another woman with a likelihood of possibly winning the presidency, as a matter of fact. And it's those words are never going to be Madam President Clinton. It's, if it happens, it's going to be Madam President Harris. It's going to be Kamala Harris. And that probably just stings you right in the fucking heart. Every time you think about that, you're like, ah! And you deserve it because you're a bad person. Hillary Rodham Clinton, you are a bad person. You brought Donald Trump upon this nation for 4 fucking years. Your incompetence, you and you alone, and all of those in your immediate fucking circle is responsible for Donald Trump. They did the Pied Piper strategy. They propped up Donald Trump. They said Donald Trump would be the best possible person to run against, and Donald Trump defeated you. Your instincts were so bad. You're like, Wisconsin, I don't need to go there. Why the fuck would I go there? You know what I mean? Oh, blue wall my ass. And for a moment, I thought this was a rerun, that this election cycle was seemingly a rerun. Bad candidate that many people are not enthusiastic about going up against an unknown entity in 2016, but a known entity now, for better or for worse. And I will get into that in a second. But I told you, it's like, this is not a 2020 rerun. This is a 2016 rerun. We have a person who's gripping on when everyone else is reading the fucking room and recognizing that this situation is untenable. This is not good. It's not good at all. That he is going to most likely lose to Donald Trump. Okay? Here's the DNC chair, Jamie Harrison, only 48 hours ago. What a difference 48 hours makes. We'll see. Oh, we'll fucking see, baby. We'll see what kind of difference that makes, won't we? Haha. Let's see what he had to say, actually. You know what? Let me be ruthless today. Let me be a piece of shit. Let's see what he had to say. He said, just in case you didn't know, I'm still riding with Biden 2024.
The polls that are most important to me is when I hit the ground and I interact with folks. Look at the crowd that Joe Biden talked to at the NAACP.
Can you imagine bringing up crowds when you're Joe Biden and you're running up against Donald Trump? Joe Biden never in a million fucking years had the same level of fandom as Donald Trump. He did not. And he never did throughout his entire political career. Okay? And he did not when he was the vice president. That was for Obama. And he did not when he was the president. Okay? And he is the president still. The idea that you would ever bring up something that Trump is objectively good at, which is no metric of success anyway, because Trump drew significantly larger crowds in the 2020 election and still lost to Joe Biden. The idea that you would bring that up when you're running against Trump is so fucking stupid. Because the reality is 67% of Democrats said that they were voting against Trump. They were not voting for Biden. Whereas 60% of Republicans say they are voting for Trump. That's the difference. Okay? That's the difference. So for him to be like, oh, he draws a lot of crowds, like, who are you lying to, man? Who the fuck are you lying to?
These are folks who are leaders, black leaders in communities across this country.
And then bringing this up, 52% of black voters in the Democratic Party said that they want to replace Joe Biden, that they said he was not competent enough to be president even. That's also bullshit. It is 100% a cynical weaponization of identity, which Democrats love to do. They love to do it. They did it to Bernie, and they were doing it to keep Biden in the race. Biden is not black. Kamala Harris is. Fuck you mean black people want Biden? What a ridiculous fucking statement. Like, they were literally gaslighting in the worst ways possible. They were literally like, yeah, no, black people want Biden, so you're fucking racist because you say, no, a black woman should be the presidential candidate. Like, you're racist, actually. And it doesn't even fucking matter what Kamala's background or identity is in this circumstance. I'm just simply saying that, like, it was that ridiculous that they were just acting as though the vice president, which is chosen as a replacement for the president, was not good enough. But what do you expect from Biden, who literally openly said, oh no, I'm picking a VP not because of their background or anything, but because she's a black woman. He said that. He said that with Ketanji Brown Jackson, who I actually like. Ketanji Brown Jackson is the only defense attorney, the only public attorney, okay, that has ever sat in the fucking Supreme Court of the United States. She had qualifications out the ass. She is a better representation of the American public in terms of the Supreme Courts of the United States justices than anyone else. And they literally cut that in the most cynical way by being like, well, we put a black woman. We put a black woman in the Supreme Court. It's like so gross. Leaning in to the worst instincts of the leaning into the worst messaging from the Republican Party. Okay? Oh no, they went private. The Biden accomplishments guy. What about Biden's wins? What about Biden's wins? It's so funny how the moment the money stops coming from the donors, they switch on Biden. Listen, buddy. It wasn't just the donors, but unfortunately for all of us, the only way to get these fucking assholes to do anything is through the donors. Okay? Is Harry Hasan okay? Of course he's okay. He's going to be the most loyal Fedayeen for Kamala Harris. A lot of these guys who openly said, no, I'm riding with Biden. You guys are wrong. They are all going to immediately turn around and, of course, endorse Kamala Harris. They're going to advocate for Kamala Harris. Okay? Of course they are, because they want to They want to be party loyalists. I told you, no one in this goddamn nation was going, I'm voting for Biden because I like Biden and Biden alone. He is so charismatic. I love his policies. I love his legislative agenda. No one was doing that. That is precisely the reason why Biden was actually getting outcompeted with down ballot candidates. In key states, he has to win. Arizona, Nevada, Georgia even. Like everywhere in the country, Biden was like getting outperformed by fucking Amy Klobuchar. Okay? By like 10 points. You were jerking off Biden 4 years ago. Kekleo. That's such a funny thing to say because there has never been a moment where I have ever fucking given this dude even an ounce of credit that he does not deserve. If we talk about the NLRB under the Biden regime, great. Okay. I've defended that. If we talk about actually pulling out of Afghanistan, that is brave. Okay. That was the right thing to do. I'll stand by that. But everything else, especially in the lead up to the race and everything else post the race, he has gone back on. Don't be ridiculous. Anyway, do you have any guesses for who Harris will choose as her VP? White man. One of the whitest men you can find, okay? One of the whitest, most straight men you can find, okay? Not even like a little gay, not even a little zesty. Like you can't even have someone like maybe a little zesty. It just has to be like it's like a rerun. Barack Obama's perfect counter was like a racist, goofy white guy, Joe Biden. Kamala Harris's counter has to be like the driest white boy to ever do it. Okay? And I don't mean like Tim Kaine style white guy. I mean like an Andy Beshear or a Mark Kelly, that type of guy. Okay? If there's a cop dome, that actually fucking works even better. Mark Kelly does have the cop dome, the cop phrenology. JB Pritzker is great, but I don't think that'll be the case. But I do love, I like JB Pritzker. We need a tubby man. We need like a big rotund boy. We need to bring back big boys. I mean, look at this, bro. Dropped this pic of Bashir's family. Bro, that's what I'm talking about. Motherfucker looks related, dude. And I don't mean just with his parents. No, Bashir is actually pretty solid. That's a joke. Those are jokes. Those are jokes. Okay. All right, I need to sit down. Holy fuck. Holy moly, what a fucking day!
Or not with his senior most staff. This was him informing his staff that the decision was made. I also just want to note, in the letter that he sent, he said he is going to focus the rest of his term on making sure that he is finishing out the rest of the first term as well as he can and really focusing on really just doing the duties of the presidency. What he didn't say there.
Do the right thing, Brandon. Cut all aid. Put BDS on the map, Brandon. Do it. Netanyahu fucked you over. He fucked you over. You bear hugged him. He was a fake friend. Okay? Take that phone call when he comes in to the American Congress. His arrest warrant should be out by then. Okay? Coordinate with the ICC. Get that arrest warrant application to go through and then arrest his ass. I swear to God, dude. I swear to God. I will door knock for Kamala Harris. I will go around the nation. I will tell every single person to vote for Kamala Harris if this happens. It's not going to happen, but if it did, that would be pretty cool. Okay?
Making the right decision. There is also a lot of anger, a lot of bad blood, a lot of hard feelings about the way all of this was handled by various Democrats in the party. I was on the phone with campaign co-chair Cedric Richmond, and he unleashed some really harsh words on the donors that in recent days had refused to give to President Biden. And he said that what the donors had done was create a self-fulfilling prophecy because essentially when the money dries up, there is no way that you can win. And he was saying, look, the donors basically ensured that this was a no-win situation for the president. He said the donors now better pony up, and we are actually seeing the first signs of donors actually turning around and saying, yeah, now that he has decided to step down, we are going to continue supporting this ticket. Wolf.
Dramatic developments indeed, and historic developments we're watching very, very closely right now. MJ Lee at the White House, we'll get back to you. We'll get back to our panel shortly. I want to go to Caitlin Collins, who's also covering all of this for us. Caitlin, these are dramatic developments, and it's come as a surprise to a lot of us after the President of the United States for days and days kept saying he's in it to win it. He's not going anywhere. He's staying in the race. Then all of a sudden, he posts this letter to the American public saying he's no longer.
It wasn't all of a sudden. Everyone knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, and I'm a fucking dumbass, okay? I don't have insider sources or anything. Well, maybe a little bit, maybe some. But come on. Everybody knew it was happening.
Improved significantly. So that could also play a factor in how we are learning this dramatic breaking news from the president himself in a letter that was posted online announcing he is not going to seek the election and the Democratic nomination for this November to challenge Donald Trump for the presidency. Jamal Simmons is here with us. He is a CNN political commentator, but also, and more importantly in this moment, the former communications director for Vice President Harris. And Jamal, I want to talk to you about the Harris dynamic of this because Senator Mark Warner of Virginia has just lined up behind her. We're watching closely to see what Democrats are saying about this. But first, you worked inside the Biden White House. What's your reaction to this news from the president?
You know, it's an incredible amount of, we kind of thought
the DNC chair blocked me.
Gosh,
oh, damn.
Still so sad, right? I mean, Joe Biden is this American hero. He's such a patriot.
It's not sad.
Saved us from Donald Trump.
No one is sad.
You're a Democrat.
Literally not a single person is sad. Hunter Biden is sad. His ass ain't getting a pardon. Oh, no. Oh, his ass is going to federal prison, big dog, okay? That's the one guy who's sad right now, and he can suck me. I was a big Hunter Biden advocate for the longest time until I saw his fail son ass in the fucking White House attending meetings with the fucking staffers, sitting side by side with Joe Biden being like, nope, please keep running, Pop. Please keep running, Papa. Bitch ass.
Saying essentially that he did not believe Biden
Lock
could
him
defeat
up!
Donald Trump if he remained on the ticket. But with Biden's statement about 20 minutes after he posted this letter saying that he is going to endorse Vice President Harris as the Democratic nominee, we're watching these statements. We're seeing people like Senator Mark Warner, progressive House member Jamal Bowman getting behind her as the Democratic nominee. Is that what you expect to see?
If Republicans try to run the gambit of being like, we're going to sue to make sure that like Kamala is not on the ballot before the convention even happens, okay, the entire nation will collapse on them. Do you understand me? That was one of the many reasons why I said there's no fucking way that they're going to like try and hold this up in the court system. They can try because they're panicking right now. That is the worst possible thing that they can do. Why is that the worst possible thing they can do? Because that feeds into they want to end democracy. They have no respect for democracy narrative. A smart staffer, and I know many of you motherfuckers are watching me right now. If you are in those fucking rooms, that's the angle. Oh, really? The convention didn't happen? And that's how scared they are that they can't run a normal race? So they're going to try and do like the exact same thing that they did last time? Like with January 6th when they tried to do false electors? When they wanted to like do some weird court process to undermine the will of the people? Really? How about you fight on November 5th? How about you fight in November? Why are you trying to fight in the fucking court process? It's the easiest messaging dub of all time. Mike Johnson called it illegal. These fucking pieces of shit in the Republican Party, they have the audacity. They're like, oh, sorry, you can't do that. Fuck you mean you can't do that? There's no procedure that is actually was put into motion, okay? You can cry until you have no more tears left. Oh, 14 million primary voters who cast their ballots for you. Am I right? Fuck them up. You're fucking them over. Suck my dick, dude. Your account's called End Wokeness. Keep crying, okay? These are the types of people who like imagine trans people in their minds and then fucking have an aneurysm, okay? These are not serious people. Get the fuck out of here. Keep crying, dude. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so wonderful. It's so brilliant. Oh, my Lord. Cernovich? I thought it was Jack Posobiec. By any objective analysis, we witnessed a coup. Yeah, dude, totally. Totally. Yeah, they're chirping. They're chirping so hard because they know that Biden was a weak candidate. And they know that anyone that's like even remotely competent is actually going to be a stronger candidate than the fucking carcass. There's enough movement. There's enough momentum. There's enough movement and enough momentum in the Democratic Party. They got juice right now. They got motion. Okay? They do. Now, I need you to understand something. They can still fuck it up. And the Democratic Party always fucks it up. Okay? So these upcoming months are very important. Okay? They're very important. Kamala Harris has to basically undo a lot of the last minute motions from the Biden administration without actually creating a big enough rift in the party. Okay? It's not going to be from Kamala's side. It obviously is going to happen with competent competent administrators around her. And I really do hope that they have that. Okay? CNN, avalanche of donations pouring into Harris campaign. President Joe Biden is a patriotic American. Dude, I verbatim told you. I could have written these fucking quotes. Joe Biden is a patriotic American who has always put our country first. His legacy, vision, values, and leadership make him one of the most consequential presidents in American history. With love and gratitude to President Biden for always believing in the promise of America and giving people the opportunity to reach their fulfillment. God blessed America with Joe Biden's greatness and goodness. I told you, he is a wonderful man. We're going to preserve his legacy. I told you verbatim that's what they're going to say, and that's what they're saying. Of course, that's what they're saying. You said a white man for vice, but I'm trying to think Buttigieg is up there and the gay thing might make it hard. Nah, I don't even think Pete Buttigieg like reads as gay. I think Pete Buttigieg is just like not very likable. He's too much of an elitist. And Kamala Harris is already like got that. You need a salt of the earth type dude. Okay. You don't need a guy who is basically like gay and a little bit more charismatic JD Vance. That's what I think though. Who knows what the Democratic Party will do? Okay. Endorse Harris now. Are you supporting Kamala Harris? Good job, Nancy. You pulled off another insurrection. Totally disappointed with the elites, the Democrats, and the MSM. Joe Biden did not deserve this hack job. I will continue to vote for Joe Biden. That's a bot, okay? That's not a real person. Get the fuck out of here. By the way, obviously, this community, well, right now we have 117,000 people in here, okay? So this community is a little bit different. Well, right now, there's probably a lot of normies in here as well. Having said that, however, okay, by and large, this community is a little bit different than other communities. We pay a lot of attention to politics. We're kind of losers that way, right? And not just when like shit starts popping off. So what do I mean by this? Why am I saying this? Because a lot of normies that see this shift will actually register to vote. I believe it. Okay. We're brain broken. We already have made up our minds a long time ago. However, a lot of normies, a lot of people on TikTok, a lot of people that are in demographics that literally were just like, I'm not too invested in this race. It's a rerun. My life is not better. We'll actually start paying attention. And that's why it's very important. It's very important that Kamala Harris stays strong on her messaging, sticks to issues, and actually says like, look, we are continuing this progressive agenda. It's bold. We are not letting the Republicans ruin democracy. We're not letting Donald Trump become a dictator on day one. None of that. And we're also restoring reproductive rights for everyone in this country. We're going to do that. We're going to fight tooth and nail. Okay. We're going to claw back those civil liberties that the Republican Party tried to take away from you. Okay. That's right. No more ad breaks at the top of the hour. Sometimes they come in the middle of the hour because I'm an hour in now, 3 minutes long. Okay. No more. Medicare for all, gifted subs for all. At the top of the hour and sometimes in the middle of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. You can do that for $6. You can do that for free with a Twitch Prime. Twitch Prime is free. Mess Surfy, thank you for the 5. Akabidi, thank you for the 20 gifted subs. Thank you. We're going to look at Donald Trump and what he had to say as well. Here's the 3-minute ad break now, Jack. That was not part of the storyline. No, she's running on gifted subs for all. Anyway. I'm so fucking fired up. A lot of people will be like, oh, this is like your Super Bowl. And it's like, they don't understand. I do this when there's 10 people in here. I do this when there's 1,000 people in here. I do this every day. You're paying attention now. But it gets me very excited that a lot of people are now paying attention to politics. Makes me very happy. Okay? What about Josh Shapiro? I think Josh Shapiro is too green. Pennsylvania is a key state, and he actually outperforms Biden on some of the polls. I mean, he gets like, he has like almost a 10-point lead on Donald Trump if he was at the top of the ticket. Obviously, those are like one-off polls. There's not a lot of those polls. There's a unique. He's very like he would clear Pennsylvania. It'd be a lock. Having said that, however, he is a lesser known entity in the Democratic Party. So I don't know about Josh. Anyway, Taylor Swift, brother, is the win. Anyway, you know what I think? You know who I think should be Kamala Harris's running mate? Joe Biden. And if Joe Biden is not interested in the vice presidential position, then it should be Jimmy Carter. And if it's not Jimmy Carter, we should just find the oldest possible person we can. You know what I'm saying? Why not? Fuck it. YOLO. You know, it seems like that was fine. Yeah, reach across the aisle. Get Dick Cheney to be your VP. He has a lot of experience in that field anyway. Joe Biden said, "My fellow Democrats, I have decided not to accept the nomination and focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term." Verbatim what I told you he was going to say. "My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president. And it's been the best decision I've made. Today, I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year, Jack. Cut the malarkey, Democrats. It's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. Let's do this. Thank you, thank you, thank you." Watch me. I'm going to finish the job. I'm going to finish the job, Jack. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway. Here's the deal, Jack. Anyway, I shouldn't say that. In a phone call with CNN minutes after Biden announced his exit from the 2024 race, former President Trump responded, "He's the worst president in the history of our country. He goes down as the single worst president by far in the history of our country." Oh, dude. Oh, he is coping. He's worried. He's panicked. He's fucking panicking, dude. Come on, dog. He's panicking hard. You know, his entire fucking campaigning strategy is just dust now, okay? They had it. They were like, he's the perfect person to run against. If there's one Democrat we could easily fucking beat, is Joe Biden. It's motherfucking Joe Biden. And now they got to cast aside all those campaign ads. They got to toss them. They have to toss them. They have to restart. Woo! Everything that the RNC did. Even though they tried to message it, why is my family calling me in this moment right now? That's crazy. Even though Everything that they did, they tried to, on the last second, swap to like a unity message. They tried to make it seem like, they weren't attacking Joe Biden. Donald Trump mentioned Joe Biden by name like once or twice. You know what I mean? And just kept saying this administration, all of that is still hollow. It's still gone. It's Joever for them. Okay? It's freaking Joever for them, baby. Whoo! Ken Klippenstein with another leak. What happens to this account if Biden loses? The name of the account is Biden's wins, not Biden's loses. There are no plans to lose. He said, any updates to this? Oh my Lord. Fucking prophetic. Yeah, I love Veep. I might do a rerun. I might watch Veep again from the start because this is a very Veep ass election cycle. Straight up. They fell in line 20 minutes ago. I'm 100% Kamala Harris. You should be too. Retweet and follow to make sure all Americans are ready to defeat Donald Trump. Of course they are. Of course they are. They immediately started a new account called Kamala Harris's Wins. Wow. What is this? Biden lettuce? Oh, we had our own version of this? Well, I guess the lettuce won. We had our own version. By advocating for Biden to drop out, Hasan said in the motion, the end of Western civilization as we know it. I hope you are happy, sir. Bro, your name is Anatolian Alt. What are you talking about? Anatolia will rise again, brother. Don't worry. Anyway, let's check in on Donald Trump, who is definitely not mad right now. Let's see what he had to say. Crooked Joe Biden was not fit to run for president and is certainly not fit to serve and never was. He only attained the position of president by lies, fake news, and not leaving his basement, which is a cell phone, by the way. That is, you're owning yourself. You're saying that a cadaver basically like was on a stretcher the entire time and stretched his way into the presidency against you, the powerful being that you are, supposedly. Okay? Just a reminder for that. Also, what happened to unity, sir? Where's the unity? All those around him, including his doctor and the media, knew that he wasn't capable of being president, and he wasn't. And now, look what he's done to our country with millions of people coming across the border, totally unchecked and unvetted, many from prisons, mental institutions, and record numbers of terrorists. I suspect that if there is any narrative damage that is the most significant to the re-election campaign, to the election campaign now of Kamala Harris, it was done by Joe Biden at the last minute when he tried to pull this fucking right-wing Donald Trump's own border policy agenda. Okay? It's very, very important for the Democrats to just move away from that as quickly and as expediently as possible, because I don't believe that the American population, no matter how reactionary they may get on immigration, are going to like putting their name in association with a guy who keeps saying Mexicans are rapists and they are killing hundreds of thousands of Americans. Okay? That's his argument for the upcoming election. That is insane. You are not only hallucinating, but you're actually now hallucinating at a level where it's like objectively untrue. Okay? It's like, I was thinking about this last night. He's like, hundreds of thousands of Americans are being murdered by undocumented migrants every year. That's what he was saying, right? And it's such an insane thing to say that if someone counter messages against that and goes, you're out of your mind, that is objectively untrue, empirical evidence suggests, like, there's no data for this. Data actually shows the exact opposite, that undocumented migrants are responsible for less crimes per capita than natural born U.S. citizens. Okay. And they keep hammering that in. And they keep trying to explain to people what the process in which the deportation of 10 million plus people living on U.S. soil right now would look like, and how similar that is to Nazi Germany. Americans will move away from that. Americans will go, okay, that's a little bit gross. Okay? Oh, you lost Americans at Imperial. I don't care. That part is fine. They don't have to say that. The content will be unleashed if Biden gives the green light. That's the other side of this. Like, Americans love tough on crime narratives and shit. And it's like, you have a prosecutor, a former prosecutor, like, I don't like that. But average voters are going to look at this and be like, that's a former prosecutor going up against a convicted felon. If Trump was not a convicted felon at this point, that would be a different dynamic. But Americans do care about that. They fucking hate. They hate the idea of voting for a convicted felon. The ones that are deep in the pocket, deep MAGA, they don't give a shit. Donald Trump could literally, in his own words, execute someone on Fifth Avenue and they'd still vote for him willingly, okay? But this, for the old folks, oh my God, this shit would go kind of nutty for the old folks. It would go kind of crazy for the Rust Belt. All these people that are also swept up in the crime panic narrative. Jamie Harrison, DNC statement. The American people owe Biden an enormous debt of gratitude for the unparalleled okay, shut up, Jamie, you bitch. It's a little bit dependent on which narrative the Republicans go with. If they turn around and try to go with like, Kamala Harris was actually a woke DA or something, then it's a little different. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm thinking about it right now. There's a lot of things happening in my mind. Okay, too many things at once. We didn't even talk about my fucking fat ass dub against the FaZe boys yesterday. That was crazy. That was wild, but that's besides the point. I've officially reached, for those of you who were watching yesterday, I officially reached UNC status, UNC status, as a matter of fact. So that was pretty fire. Zoomer's calling you Jokic. Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, shoot. Yep.
Max got facialed. Anyway, I doubted, and to be proven wrong. Yeah, all my doubters, where they at now? The news has been so stacked lately that you've barely had a chance to cover the ICJ ruling. Yeah, I covered it yesterday. Hey gang, just woke up. Hey gang, just woke up. Did I miss anything significant? I found out Biden dropped out from the race from Hasan the Hunt's TikTok. What the fuck? That's why I posted that TikTok. I thought it'd be the funniest possible way for people to find out that Joe Biden dropped out of the race. RFK probably going to drop and endorse Trump. We'll see. I could see that happening. Even though RFK Jr. was like, I mean, he's crazy, man. I could see him fucking endorsing Kamala Harris, low key, because he's a weird dude, brother. He's a weird fucking dude. It's less likely, but it's more likely that he definitely. It's more likely that he endorses Trump. But he's weird as fuck, dude. He's weird as hell. Anyway. Not if Trump offered him a position at the FDA or some shit. He had pork tapeworm T. soleus that caused cyst formation, seizure, and brain. Med student here. What? Yeah, I mean, either way, he drops out, and like, it's probably beneficial for the Democrats regardless. Rachel Maddow says, I don't think there's going to be another one whisper of a fight in the Democratic Party about getting behind Kamala Harris, adding that this is not the start of an open primary and Harris will be at the top of the ticket. I do think that it'd be
really
a bad
scared
idea.
about what happens next and whether the Democratic Party can come together. What would you say to them?
I think that the Democratic Party was in really bad shape with the concerns about the enfeebled public appearance of the president. And that debate shook people, not only because it was one bad performance, but because it underscored, reified, and validated some niggling concerns that people had had about the president's age and his...
The fuck kind of word was that? What? What did she say? What?
It underscored, reified, and validated some niggling concerns that people had had about the president's age and his health and his capacity. And it
I have never heard that word in my entire life. I'm sure it's a normal word. I've just never heard it.
Absolutely split the Democratic Party into a million different pieces. And with that, with that status of the Democratic Party heading into November, I think that alone would have meant that the Democrats had essentially zero chance of prevailing in November. President Biden has endorsed Vice President Harris. I don't think there is going to be one whisper of a fight in the Democratic Party about getting behind her. I think that the Democratic Party will now unify like nothing you have seen from this party in many years around the necessity of supporting her and of building the kind of campaign you have never seen before to try to keep Donald Trump from returning to the White House and from undoing the American system of government. The endorsement of President Biden of Vice President Harris, I believe, I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe that will be seen as...
Bro, Kamala pulls a fucking Keir Starmer and is like, all of a sudden, Kamala Harris pulls a Keir Starmer, all of a sudden, the specter of communism is not only haunting Europe, but also haunting America. Oh my Lord, dude. I mean, not going to happen, obviously, even though her dad is a Marxist professor at Stanford. But, you know, they're not exactly on good terms. I'm just saying, dude.
A period at the end of the sentence underscored, let's go. And it'll be, you know, there will be technocratic stuff that needs to happen in terms of getting her at the top of the ticket and the delegates and the convention and all that stuff in the campaign. But this is not the start of an open primary. And if the Democrats want to start a primary in late July and thereby commit electoral suicide, I will be surprised. You know, Democrats have surprised me before. But this means that Vice President Harris is going to be at the top of the ticket. And what this is going to mean for Joe Biden, I mean, by running with Barack Obama in 2008 and then serving ably as...
So a couple angles of attack from Republicans immediately, okay? One, they're going to say if Biden, obviously Trump already mentioned this. I've talked about this in the buildup to Biden dropping out. Couple angles of attack are going to be if he can't actually run for president, how the fuck is he supposed to be president, right? And to them, the counter is pretty easy. You just say, look, I think Americans deserve like a younger, more vibrant, more dynamic person. And I did my job. I've been in office for 50 plus years. You know, I've been in office for so long that I think it's like the right thing to do. I think I wanted to give the Americans an opportunity to put a fresh face on this like bold progressive agenda. Right. And I feel like there's an effective counter there for that. But that's one thing that they're going to do. They're obviously also going to try and sue at every state to be like, no, you have to put Joe Biden on the ticket, even though he's literally not even the fucking candidate yet. The convention hasn't happened yet. So another avenue of attack is obviously that like Kamala Harris was the vice president and she knew that Biden's mental faculties were not in order, which is why I thought that was another angle of attack, an avenue of attack that is like pretty solid, which is why I thought that the Democrats could not be so open and so bold about Joe Biden's mental faculties diminishing, which is why him staying in the race post that debate or even doing that debate was really, really stupid. But if that debate had not happened, ladies and gentlemen, today I will say this. I want to thank all of the fucking idiots in Biden's orbit, in Biden's close circle, that thought that that debate that happened this early was a good idea, that Biden will be able to demonstrate competence in that debate. Because if it wasn't for them, we would be fucking slow rolling this demented old man into the convention, and I would be still screaming for the fucking rooftops that he's going to get cumpstered by Donald Trump, because he's going to keep having those moments. He's going to keep having those moments, and the Trump administration is going to keep fucking, or the Trump campaign is going to keep hitting those moments over and over again. The tweet that changed it all. Yep. Thank God. Thank the fucking Lord, dude. Holy moly. Obama's release statement. For now, Michelle and I just want to express our love and gratitude to Joe and Jill Obama said. They're such phony little bitches, dude. Yeah, fuck Obama. I mean, he is just objectively a bad person. Like, anyone who kept Joe Biden in the race for this long and then doesn't immediately turn around and go, I'm 100% fully behind whoever is the top of that ticket, which is Kamala Harris, is a bad person, okay? If you care about the Democratic Party, or even more than that, if you care about Donald Trump not being president again, you can't behave in this snake-like fashion, okay? This is some snake shit, straight up. This is just like personal pride and being fucking annoyed with the situation and not like, oh God. And not immediately fucking falling in line because it's outside of your control in the party. Anyway, is there going to be a Harris-Trump debate? There has to be. Are you kidding me? If Trump doesn't do a debate against Kamala Harris, remember, Kamala Harris actually performed fairly well in the debates, even though she obviously was deeply unpopular in the stacked Democratic primary. But Kamala Harris did perform fairly well in the debate. She had a couple pop-off moments. She is a prosecutor at the end of the day. She will, I think, cook Donald Trump. She will be able to cook Donald Trump. They just got to get her off those downers and put her on some uppers. Okay. They literally got to swap out. She needs to not be barred out ever again. And then from this moment on, put her in a fucking vat. Let her go cold turkey. No more Xanax for Mamala. Only uppers from this point on. I want her fucking cracked out like Hunter Biden on the main stage. You know what I'm saying? Doing cartwheels and shit. Okay? You got the uppers already on deck for this fucking corpse. Give him to Mamala. Let her fucking thrive. Okay? My name is Hasan. I'm 21 years old, and I'm fully supporting Vice President Kamala Harris in 2024. Who's with me? Of course he is. That's my goat. No disrespect to Hasan on this broadcast, okay? I love him. This happened to you too, bro? What is this? They said get your ass back into the studio? What is this? Enjoying a wolf spritzer at El Presidente restaurant here in D.C. They said, get your ass back to the studio. It's true. This happened to me as well. Objectively. Do you think they will run with the Kamala versus felon Trump narrative? Potentially. I don't think it's that bad of a narrative. Democrats have raised $5 million in just over an hour. Holy shit. Jesus Christ, dude. Listen. The fight is not done. Okay. There is still, this is not a moment of celebration beyond the fact that Genocide Joe is out. Okay. Jim Crow Joe is out. And it's like a very different race now. But in some respects, it's not all that different in the sense that Donald Trump is still very much He's a weak candidate, but very much a candidate that has a shit ton of momentum. Okay. This swap out, I hope, will activate a lot of those in the margins, a lot of young voters, Hispanic voters in general, that have not been paying attention in key states. And Kamala Harris's genuine separation from Joe Biden on the issue of Palestine will actually play a significant role here. Okay? It will. Kamala Harris, months ahead of Biden, kept leaking to Politico and other outlets that she was like for a ceasefire, that she was just like that to me absolutely shows decent political instinct, regardless of the fact that she's been really awful in the past 4 years with respect to how she's like basically hemorrhaged her staff, and how, you know, she's played the role of like you know, a person doing side missions and kind of goofy overall. Anyway. Yeah, Kamala Harris defends anti-Israel college protests as speculation mounts she could replace Biden in a race. This was on July 9th. Okay? You put a woman in office, you get World War III. That's so funny. Yeah, no, totally. You're right, chatter. Women are so emotional, am I right? And not Donald Trump, who is like very clearly super competent and unemotional, famously. That's awesome. Dude, it's 2024, man. How are you still operating with these ridiculous fucking narratives? Like, I don't understand. Are you a fucking ape? Are you a goddamn caveman? Like, what kind of a statement is this? And I'm not even saying like Kamala Harris doesn't have a shit ton of weaknesses. I certainly did not want her as the candidate in 2020, okay, in those primaries. Like, I'm not exactly super fond of Kamala Harris either. This is not the moment for that. That's neither here nor there. And I will get to that eventually. But like, to say it's because she's a woman is so stupid. And especially when one of the most pressing issues on this election is going to be on the boundaries of women's reproductive rights. Okay? Thank you, Mr. President, for your service and stepping aside. Yeah, Austin is doing victory laps right now. Oh, my God. Oh, my Lord. Let's see what they're saying.
To Mike Johnson. No. And how tough of a call do you believe this was for him?
No, I think that is
He's
ridiculous.
Crying.
I think President Biden has shown in recent weeks his ability to handle and manage complex international matters, to continue his lifelong record of service and his legacy of leadership in foreign policy.
Bro's
and
crying.
To make hard calls.
Okay, this is glazing. This is too much.
Stronger and safer.
It's too much. It's too much, Chris Coons. You can't be doing that. That's too much. That's illegal, bro. You're crying about an 82-year-old man.
We are still negotiating our annual appropriations bill.
He didn't die, bro. He didn't die. He's still alive, barely, but still alive, motherfucker. What are you doing?
Peace in Gaza and a stable and more secure future for Israel and the Israeli people. Joe Biden has more experience in foreign policy than any national leader. And to have him step aside now, I think would be
dude, yeah, we need to keep Biden in the office, actually. The one guy from Delaware who's like, we got to keep him in office.
And I know you've got to go, Senator Coons. You're joining us on just breaking news that is happening as of this moment. Last question: President Biden said that he'll address the nation later this week.
That's my opinion.
For people watching,
that's what I'm thinking. That's the Rust Belt, okay? You know, that's like everyone in the Rust Belt is basically like, I'm a Wisconsin voter who works at an HVAC business, and I was thinking like, I want a president that will protect Israel. That's what I was thinking. You know, that's my one vote. Okay. I'm a Western Pennsylvania voter. Okay. I worked in the fracking industry pretty much all my life. And I'm thinking, Who's the president that brought Finland and Sweden into NATO? That's my guy. I'm writing with Biden. I will write his name. Okay? I will write as a writing candidate. He is my guy. I don't care. I'm not voting for anybody else. Okay?
And he laid out for what we could do together if we put down the tools of partisanship, come together as a country and legislate and solve problems. 3.5 years later, I've had a chance to watch Joe Biden sign into law landmark bills, the most consequential legislative record since LBJ. And I expect you'll hear from him when he speaks in a few days about his confidence in the American people, the urgency of our coming together and putting aside partisan bickering and embracing the bright future that our country can have if we will just work together.
Yeah, massive news from him this afternoon. Senator Chris Coons, thank you for jumping on with us on this breaking news. I really do appreciate your time.
Thank you, Caitlin.